Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie, and it is Monday. I don't like Mondays. Yeah, that's me too. But I'm going to make it count because I got my little guy sleeping behind me, and it's going to be a good day. I have no specific plans except making it a good day. It is now 8 in the morning, and this one's brought to you by Jay. Jay Velatina. Jay, merci, tu es très jolie. Thank you. Thank you. She asked me about trains. She asked me, since you worked with the trains, have you been on them? What do you think of them? And that's a subject that is so dear to my heart that I'm really, really glad to talk about it. I love trains. Trains are romantic. Trains are historic. Trains dig into the soul of the country. They symbolize the past. They to me still symbolize a future. They're really, really wonderful. Yes, I know some people think that, oh wow, they're polluters, but they're not. When you've got one engine pulling what would be, oh, maybe 500-600 truckloads, 500-600 different engines going across the country. So I appreciate the railway, but even more so, I love the railway. It may not be the story you asked for, but I'm going to give you one of my favorites. Is my first 8 years with the railway was with what probably went down as one of the worst bosses in Canadian Pacific history. He was awful. He was mean. He was beyond Theory X, if you know what the Theory X manager is. Beyond that, he was mean and tough and a big old Swede with arms the size of tree trunks, and he hated me. I was his nemesis. He was mine. I never got along. And one day, long story, and it isn't what this story's about, I quit. And yes, I went back. I quit. I went to college. I got myself a couple of different degrees, and I came back to fanfare. But that, again, is not the story. The story is, when I left, I thought I was leaving for good. But for months and months, every time I got stopped by a train or saw a train go by, I felt like a long-lost girlfriend had just walked past and not seen me, you know? It was tough. It was tough. And I was going to school, so then I reapproached the railway and asked about doing part-time and summertime work to help me through college. And they were all for it. And that helped build I still had a plan that I was leaving the railway. I was in university for financial management and organizational theory and political science, and I wanted to make something of myself either in the political sphere or the financial world. And I was offered a job with BMO Nesbitt Burns, then called Bank of Montreal. But I got offered a better job with the railway. So I came back because I love the railway. The railway has been in our family since the railway started, way back in 1876 when the first spike was driven. Us Birches and Smiths and Corbetts were already working the railway. My dad worked for them for 42 years. I myself am now at 40, with a break in between, so I really have 35. I left for close to 5 years. I have been on many trains, Jay. When I was a young boy, and I remember it well, I was 4, maybe 5, traveling from Montreal to Vancouver for our new home, moving from Montreal to Vancouver because my dad was transferred. I remember that train ride because I was terribly sick with. Turned out when we got to Vancouver and got to the Shaughnessy Hospital, I had double bronchial pneumonia. Funny, at 5 years old, I remember that train ride. I remember my mom trying to get me to concentrate on the beauty of this wonderful country, second largest country in the world. I remember looking out the train. I do. I have been on old trains, old steam engines. I have been on many a yard engine, going from one place to another, doing switching. I have ridden on the edge of cars while they move them from one place to another. And I've seen some people hurt in the railway. I get very angry, very physically mad when I see somebody stop on railway tracks, or play on railway tracks, or take their pictures while standing on the rail. In 40 years, I have never stood on the rail. One of the steadfast rules of the railway is do not stand on rail, because that rail can be slippery. Boom, your foot goes under, your head hits the rail, and a train, an hour later, if you don't wake up, runs you over. Don't play on the tracks. Don't play on the tracks. So, friends, that's my story today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like that I change up the background. I tried to make it match to the story. Maybe you like that. Maybe you all want me to go back to that Peace one, that Med THC you were saying you like so much. It crisps everything up, and I agree. That was a nice one. So, up to all of you. And we have a weird science fact to deal with. Erosion. Oh, I know Niagara Falls really well. Erosion at the base of Niagara Falls has caused the falls to recede approximately 7 miles over the past 10,000 years. It actually recedes by about that much every year now, moving back and back and back. I went to it many times as a kid, because I lived in Ontario, and I remember it then, and I remember it a few years ago when the falls were significantly in a different spot. Still very similar looking. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Catch you Tuesday. Thank you for all your thumbs up. Thank you for all your love. Thank you for being you.